Somebody's going to ask you for money here, guaranteed. Might be a knock at the gate, might be some kid falling in step next to you on the street with a handout like a toll booth. You never know. Both happens to pretty much every expat. But how you handle it the first time sets the tone for the next 4 years. No pressure. Now, full disclosure, I've got it a little easier than most guys making this move. I'm surrounded by my wife's family. They're protective as hell. They've lived here their whole lives, and they're happy. And half the time, they're running interference before I even know that there was anything to intercept. It's the kids in town, give me my money. Some of you living here, you know exactly what I'm talking, straight up. No shame in their game. I just look at them and go, no, give me my money. Give me my money. Then I tell them it's may I have. It's not gimme. You don't deserve anything. You ask for things, you little con artists. I've never handed them 1 peso for that. But, occasionally the kid at the 7-Eleven that opens the door, yeah, I'll do that. Some little one every once in a while, yeah, sometimes. Rare, not a policy, just a little soft spot. So this isn't me pretending I've got it worse than you. It's the actual framework, because whether it's happening to you once a week or once a day, the logic underneath doesn't change. This is what nobody tells you before you get on the plane. You show up with this postcard in your head, coconut trees, San Migues, just $2. Your dollar stretches forever. Life's good, and honestly, it is. But the street you moved onto isn't a movie set somebody built for your arrival, okay? Poverty here isn't a backdrop for your thumbnail. It's just Tuesday for the people around you. Your neighborhood's not poor for a season, so you can have a nice, authentic little travel moment. They were poor last year. They're going to be poor next year. That's just a fact about the block, not a plot twist for your relocation story. Once that actually lands, your whole attitude shifts. You're not some white savior who parachuted in with a GoPro to fix the neighborhood. You're the new guy in an economy that was running fine before you showed up. And I say fine. And it's going to keep running even after you hit the ground. And this is why it's you getting asked and not the tricycle driver. Say, for instance, you're the guy with the visible cash flow. You're the guy, foreign pension, foreign YouTube money, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter what it actually is. You walk around looking like a small bank branch with legs. That's not me insulting you. That's just math. Even with a whole protective family running shotgun like I've got, you're still a juicier target than the neighbor who's been broke here for 40 years. And that's just a fact. But this is the trap. You say yes once out of guilt. Congratulations, you've just set a price. Everybody who hears about that first yes now knows the ATM's open for business. One soft moment creates 10 future ambushes, and now you're either the generous Kano or the stingy one, depending entirely on your mood that day. And I'll tell you the fact, neither one of those is going to earn you an ounce of respect. That's compassion fatigue, and it's real, even at low volume. Look, you don't want every walk to the sorry store turning into a negotiation. All right, so this is what I actually do. It's not complicated, I promise. No whiteboard required or anything like that. Rule 1, you decide the policy before you're standing there with a kid's handout and your wallet in your back pocket. Because if you're improvising in that moment, you've pretty much already lost. You just don't know it yet. Rule 2, the street ask and the money at your door ask are two different animals. Treat them differently. A kid joking with "gimme my money" gets a joke back and a grammar lesson. They don't get cash or coins. That's a relationship, not a transaction, and honestly, it's kind of fun. Rule 3, the rare exception like my 7-Eleven kids, stays rare, small, and consistent. Now, not how I'm feeling today, generosity. Consistency's the whole game here. A warm, predictable no beats an unpredictable yes every single time. And yeah, I know that sounds backwards, but sit with it for a second and you'll understand it. And here's the part that actually surprises me moving here. None of this costs you the relationship. Filipinos have a graceful way of saying no and keeping it warm that we clumsy foreigners could stand to learn. You don't have to be a hard ass about it. You just have to be consistent. Look, this is kind of the distinction that kind of took me embarrassingly long to figure out. Handing somebody loose change fixes their day for about, an afternoon? It does nothing for the actual problem, and it really quietly tells the next kid down the line that the foreigner is an easy mark. I'll be sitting at DAPS and there's kids going, and, I'm sitting there eating and sure, I feel bad, but I'm not going to I go, waray corta, waray. And, they end up leaving because they know that I'm not going to give them any money. But congrats, you have to train the whole street. What actually moves the needle is boring as hell. Supporting something local led that's already, grinding on the root cause, not some one-time viral charity moment that gets you a nice Facebook post and does zero for anybody 30 days later. And the stuff that actually helps, usually quiet. Not because I'm protecting some saint image, trust me, nobody who knows me thinks that I am not a saint, far from it. But because visible charity in a small town breeds resentment fast, and that is a fact. The kid who didn't get picked notices, and now you've got beef with a 6-year-old, and you don't want that. Posting your generosity online isn't helping the community either. It's helping your own ego dressed up as charity. The real unlock here isn't even really about money. It's relationships that never touch money in the first place. Showing up, being at a fiesta, even when it runs 4 hours longer than it should. And believe me, they last a long, long time. But you're getting to know the people. You're enjoying yourself, listening to here it's the Waray Cha-Cha all the time, and plenty of Empador and Red Bull. Or not Red Bull, but I don't know why I always say Red Bull. I hate Red Bull. Red Horse. Get to know people's names before you know their problems. Being the guy who jokes around with the street kid instead of the guy who either flinches or overpays out of guilt. That's what's actually going to get you accepted here. Not what you handed out, but who you showed up as. Week after week with nothing changing hands at all. Holding a boundary and holding on to humanity, they're not opposites, no matter what your guilt tells you at 2 a.m. You can say no on the street and still be the guy everybody's genuinely happy to see. That's the only version of this that survives 4 years and counting, and the rest of it burns you out or turns you into someone's favorite ATM. Hey, if this video gave you something that you didn't walk in with, slap that like button. It's just going to shove this video in the face to more guys that maybe are about to walk face first into that exact situation, and we want to avoid that issue. Free downloads in the description, the 10 non-negotiable rules for living here long term. Actually, the ones you just never want to break. No charge, just grab it. Be sure to check out these videos. Be excellent to each other. And remember, this was never about the Philippines. It's how you show up when you get here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh, yeah.